Saturday, March 6th, we have a guppy update. Now, I picked up some cobra and I think a dragon pair the other day at Aquatic Critter, and I placed them in my breeding tank, which is the little 3-gallon top fin over here that is planted. And I realized that my little 5-gallon Fluval fry tank was getting kind of full. Well, the idea of moving my angels into the tall hexagon tank provided me with space. So I decided, and I've got a reflection, I apologize, that this 20 tall needed something in it. So here are a majority, well, you saw the other tank, but here's what I've pulled out so far from my 4 months, well, since my first brood that came out 4 months ago. These are all 3 and 4 generations of that first set of, I believe they're called pink flamingo, or they're sherbet colored. And I've got a lot of really beautiful coloration in these, but again, I didn't get guppies to have more goldfish. I wanted something with color and some flamboyance to them, and I've now been smitten by the guppy bug, and I don't know where that fancy one came from. He wound up being in this pile. I don't know if you can get a good picture of him, but he's got some of that cobra coloration on him. Well, again, when I went to Aquatic Critter, I bought I bought 3 pairs of the more exotic or fancy guppies, and I was going to use this net in that tank, but I realized I could pull my bigger guppies. Now there's the first generation. I don't know, like I said, if that's a defect in her back or if she's just so pregnant it's just permanently bent her spine. But there's some of the baby makers that I have. That first one, I put the other one in here because I noticed about 3 days after I had my new fish, and I apologize for the water change and the drip. I really need to clean that, but you'll notice there is a net in here. That's because, again, 3 days afterwards, I found that I had some fry in this tank. Now these fry are way smaller than the ones that I'd had before. So I am assuming that some of my new fancy cobra and or dragon females that came in gave birth. And one of the reasons I moved my bigger females is I didn't want them to be used as food, even though you can't see the plants. They're just almost taken over this tank, and I have separated out and put some of these into the 55-gallon hexagon, and I've cleaned out and moved around, and you can still see how much growth I have. But I had the Aquarium Co-op idea of using a hairnet. Now the mesh on this hairnet is larger than the mesh in the birthing tank. There, the little basket that you can get at any big chain store. And I noticed that this mesh was big enough that the fry could obviously swim in, but the big fish couldn't. And so I believe there's at least 10 in here that I can tell. And like I said, they have been growing over the last few days. They've almost doubled in size from what they were. which tells you how tiny they were, and brings me to believe that it was actually one of these females that gave birth. And again, you can't go wrong when you buy 3 pairs at roughly $3 a pair, and you already double your population size, almost tripling it. And so the other day when I was picking up my Cory catfish, I got some ghost shrimp to help on this algae and waste on the bottom, and again the mystery snails. And I saw that my local PetSmart actually had some, they were red tuxedos, and so I got 2 males and 3 females that added to this tank, and so we're going to see what happens. So again, thanks very much to Aquarium Co-op for getting me completely addicted to guppies now. I just want to see what happens up here, because I would like to see a lot of fancy guppies in here, and maybe, like I said, I can exchange these sherbet / pink flamingos in at the store to see what I can breed or see what happens next in the next strain. Alright, I guess it's time to clean the front of these tanks, since I've been pulling out plants and dripping water down the side. But again, still happy with my bubble tanks, my bubble sponge filters, and the growth that I have here. So until next time, we'll see you.